I, James Martin, being convicted at the city of Exeter, being found guilty of stealing, am sentenced for to be transported to Botany Bay for 7 years, bound on March 12, 1787.
James Martin was from County Antrim in Ireland.
He was convicted in Devon, where he was working at the time, of stealing lead and iron from Powderham Castle in Devon. He was then sent to the Hulks, where he was kept until he was put onto the First Fleet and transported to New South Wales. He's one of the first convicts to be transported.
On being landed, we were encamped and formed squads of 6 in a tent. Some were sent to clear the ground, others sent to build huts. On the 20th day of March, I made my escape in company with 7 men, with 1 woman and 2 child, in an open 6-oar boat having provisions of flour, rice, pork, 8 gallons of water, a compass and a chart. Seeming to run up the country for many miles, we hauled our boat ashore to repair her bottom with some beeswax and resin. Then came the natives in vast numbers with spears and shields. We fired a musket thinking to affright them, but they took not the least notice. More rushed forward. We were forced to take our boat and get out of reach.
They encountered a number of Aboriginal peoples here and there. It's not quite clear as to which peoples the Aboriginal people belong to, but most of the encounters were reasonably peaceable in that there was no actual conflict. On a couple of occasions they got close enough to speak, but several occasions the escapees were so afraid that they simply fired their muskets into the air and sent the Aborigines away in terror.
We drove out to sea by a heavy gale of wind and current, expecting every moment to go to the bottom. All the night thinking every moment to be the last. 2 hands was obliged to keep bailing out the sea coming in so heavy. It rained very hard all that night and the very next morn. I will leave you to consider what distress we must be in. The woman and the 2 little babies was in bad condition. We could by no means light a fire and had nothing to eat except a little raw rice at night.
There was a great deal of hardship on the journey. At one point they were out at sea for 3 weeks, unable to put into land because of rough seas, and so it's quite it's a testament to the skills of seamanship of William Bryant and William Morton, another very experienced navigator who was another one of the convicts, that everybody managed to survive the journey.
As God would have it, we got our boat safe on shore without loss or damage except 1 oar. All round this island there was nothing but reefs on a little sandy beach. We went to look for some shellfish, but found a great quantity of very fine large turtles which was left upon the reef. We hauled 5 of them upon the beach and killed one. We had a very noble meal this night. We concluded on the best way to shape our course for the island of Timor. We made it in 36 hours, after which we came to the Dutch settlement, where we went on shore to the governor's house, where he behaved extremely well to us. He filled our bellies and clothed us.
Just over 2 and a bit months after escaping, they managed to put in at Timor, Dutch West Timor, where they passed themselves off as the survivors of a shipwreck for a while at least.
We remained very happy at our work for 2 months, till William Bryant had words with his wife, and went and informed against himself, his wife and children, and all of us. We was immediately taken as prisoners and put into the castle.
It's not quite clear how they were discovered as escaped convicts. In the narrative, Martin suggests that William Bryant informed upon himself and his wife, Mary Bryant, another of the escapees. This seems unlikely to me, given the fact that the group had just escaped and gone on this huge journey together, full of suffering and hardship. Other primary sources have suggested that one of the party got drunk and let the secret slip. They may have just been overheard in conversation. I don't think it's ever going to be cleared up as to why and how they were discovered.
Captain Edwards, who had been on search for the bounty pirates, came to us tonight. We told him we was convicts. He told us we was his prisoners and put us on board the Dutch company ship and put our legs in irons. We was conveyed to Batavia. There we lost the child. 6 days after, the father of the child was taken bad and died. Both was buried in Batavia. 6 weeks after, we was put on 3 different ships bound to the Cape of Good Hope.
After the Cape, another of the convicts died, and also William Morton, who had been really instrumental in bringing the party to Timor on the long journey, died, which must have been quite a hardship for everybody concerned. And then the other child, Charlotte Bryant, died en route back to England as well.
Navigator of the boat, James Cox, died. Sam Bird died. William Bryant died. A boy of 12 months died. A little girl, 3 years and a quarter, died. We was brought home to England, brought to shore and conveyed by the constables to Bow Street Office, London, and committed to Newgate.
Given that the penalty for escaping for transportation was generally execution, was a surprisingly lenient sentence. Mary Bryant was released in May 1792, and the 4 men had to wait until November that year until they were released by proclamation. Mary Bryant received a free pardon.